All right, guys. Now we're gonna talk about the free agents this summer and what teams they could potentially go to. The first free agent we're gonna talk about is Marc Gasol to the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors, in their past, with their whole dynasty, with Curry, Clay, Draymond, KD, they've never really had a good big. In like the 2016, 2017, they had Andrew Bogut. This would be really good for the Warriors, especially because Gasol would really fit into their rotation, and he would fit into their offense because Gasol is not bad at threes. He's decent a big. Yeah.
With the more he takes, the less he makes, essentially. He made about 2 threes per game this year, and those were most of his points. His usage rate has obviously dropped since he joined the Raptors and left Memphis. I think if the Warriors aren't going to go for like a James Wiseman in the draft, then I think this will be a good option for them.
The Warriors also lack their rebounding, and Gasol would definitely fill that role. Gasol is also... the Warriors also lack a post defender with size. And even though Gasol's lost a little bit of his mobility now that he's grown older, he's still 6'11", and he's one of the top one-on-one down low stoppers in the league. So I think if Golden State wants to revive their dynasty from past years, they're gonna need everything that Gasol offers. But it's gonna be pretty hard to get him because I think a lot of teams are gonna try and get Gasol. There are gonna be a lot of competitive offers for him, and also the Raptors are gonna want him back because if they sign Ibaka, they're definitely gonna want Gasol too, because Ibaka and Gasol work great together.
I think the Raptors will try to hold on to him. I think they'll prioritize obviously getting Ibaka, as he did put up more He did have a more prominent and productive season than Gasol had, but them switching off, doing that like starter hybrid, like equal minutes on the bench thing is working for the Raptors. But if the Raptors just do want to like keep on going younger, then maybe letting Marc Gasol go would be a good option.
Yeah. The next free agent we have is Paul Millsap, and Bleacher Report is saying he's going to go to the Rockets. Paul Millsap is kind of like a PJ Tucker, except he's not as good at shooting threes as Tucker. He can shoot threes. He's a good defender. He can guard 1 through 5 positions, and I think if the Rockets want to continue with their small ball system, I don't know if they will since Morey stepped down. I don't know if their new GM is going to stick with their small ball, but if they do, I think Millsap would be a great pickup.
I don't think the Rockets should go with this. I think I don't think Paul Millsap's a good fit for them if they already have PJ Tucker on the team. I think I don't know what their direction is going to be. Like I said earlier, this franchise is currently going down, like spiraling in the toilet. I don't think he had some good games this postseason, but besides that, his production just isn't that great, and he's also not as mobile or as defensively there as he was before. So I don't think this is the best pick for them. Also, dude, he's making like an obscene amount of money, like way too much for somebody for his production. So I don't know how much he's going to charge the Rockets. I don't know how much his market value is.
Also, he's getting kind of old too. If the Rockets want to get some young players, this wouldn't be the option. I think who the Rockets should go for is Jeremy Grant. I think he would fit into their system perfectly, and he's also younger. What do you think?
Jeremy Grant's just better. He's just better. I'm sorry to cut you off, Ennes, but
yeah,
he's just better in every possible way. I don't really like. He's better. There's my argument. Obviously, I'm an expert. I run a basketball podcast. I know the facts. You know, He's just
Yeah.
better. I don't have any proof to this reasoning. Maybe Ennes does, but we probably don't. We just say things here, you know?
Yeah, but I think the reason why Bleacher Report put Paul Millsap instead of Grant is because the Nuggets are probably going to prioritize keeping Grant, and they're not going to prioritize keeping Millsap. So I think that's why the Rockets have a better shot at getting Millsap than Grant. I think they should go all out for Grant. I think he'll fit into their system perfectly. Our next free agent we're going to talk about is Danilo Gallinari to the Miami Heat. So in my opinion, I don't think this is a good fit for Gallinari and the Heat. I mean, Gallinari, he doesn't fit the Heat type of offense, which is like a fast-paced offense. He's good. He's like okay at shooting. The only thing good about him that the Heat would need is his ability to get to the free throw line. I think that's really the only thing that would happen in this. And obviously, if the Heat are looking to pursue Giannis next year, he's only going to be on a 1-year deal, so it's not going to be anything too big for this.
So this is a no. This is a no. In no world would this work. First of all, you know how that thing about how like Miami keeps their players in like really good shape like all the time?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Danilo Gallinari will exactly fit in that environment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not like that's the biggest problem either. Also, they have Bam Adebayo, they have Jay Crowder. Okay, get rid of Jay Crowder in the lineup and put him in. But that gets rid of Jay Crowder's okay defense and mediocre three-point shooting and replaces it with no defense and good three-point shooting. But they don't really need that on the floor since they have Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. He's also not that fast. He can get to the free throw line, but that's only if he's one of the main dominators of the ball like he was in OKC and last year with the Clippers. And that's not going to happen when he's on the Heat. And like you said earlier, he doesn't seem like a person that would fit into this offense seamlessly. They do a lot of running. It's a lot of set plays. Yeah, this wouldn't work.
Yeah.
0 out of 10 Bleacher Report.
The next free agent we're going to talk about is Serge Ibaka, and he's projected to go to the Milwaukee Bucks. And I think if he goes to the Bucks, if he signs with the Bucks, he's gonna have that same like hybrid starter bench like duty. The same thing that he had with the Raptors with Gasol. He's gonna be alternating his minutes with Gasol. Or he alternated his minutes with Gasol on the Raptors, and I think if he goes to the Bucks, he'll do the exact same thing but with the Brook Lopez. And I think if he's fine with that, with swapping minutes, I think this would be a good fit for him.
I mean, he's used to this type of setup because he's played with Gasol for a while now. But I think if they do go through with this move, I don't even know if this is in the cards for them. But it would be like at times like last 2 minutes on the floor when they need more defensive versatility that Lopez can't provide. But then on the other side of the floor, then Ibaka can still hit threes. So I think that would be like the key situations that they would pick him for over somebody like Brook Lopez.
Yeah, definitely. And Ibaka is a really good shot blocker. We call him Ibaka your shata on this podcast because he blocks your shots. Like Ibaka.
I think he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Like. You guys get it? Yeah.
Well, they can't. Right. They haven't heard this yet, so.
They haven't.
They can't respond. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The next free agent we have on our list is Jeremy Grant to the Timberwolves. In this bubble, Jeremy Grant has really done well, especially in the Lakers series. That's really a series where he just took off. His confidence was soaring, and after that game where he just popped off, he started to have a lot more confidence in his shooting and his ability to drive and to be a playmaker. Also, his defensive versatility is really important, and I think someone like a team like the Timberwolves would need someone like that on the defensive end. And the Timberwolves have Cat, they have D'Lo, and then now if they add Jeremy Grant, that would be a really good pickup for them, in my opinion. What do you think about this, Muhammad?
I think the Nuggets should just try their best and their best and their best to hang on to Jeremy Grant. I think he's perfect for their team. He's an athletic person who can block shots. He plays great defense. His three-point percentage is only going up every single year. And I don't think anybody deserves to play for Minnesota. I think that's I think that's just the worst cards you can be. There's like Phoenix, there's Minnesota, there's the Cavs, Like there's only a certain couple of teams that you just want to try your best to not end up on. And the Timberwolves are one of those teams.
It's hard for me to see the Nuggets not hanging on to Grant.
Yeah,
like you said,
and if they do drop Paul Millsap, which I'm guessing that they will do, then keep Jeremy Grant. He's just a better, more athletic, better three-point shooter. Paul Millsap.
Definitely. Yeah, he's like Paul Millsap, but just like better, The last player we have on our list is Goran Dragic, and he's projected to go to the Toronto Raptors. So this would only really happen if the Raptors lost Van Vliet. So only in this scenario, only if they lose Van Vliet, would they be willing to sign Dragic, because if they signed him and they still had Van Vliet, it would be Van Vliet, Lowry, and Dragic at the guard position, which is I don't think that's really good for the Raptors, because all three of those players are really good players at the guard position. I think they need to even out their talent more in all the positions. So if they re-sign Ibaka or Gasol, and then they let go of Van Vliet, that's the only scenario where I see this happening.
No, bro, they're not gonna get rid of FVV. Like, no, dude. This is, how I was just talking about the teams that like no player should ever play for. It's the Knicks are up there too, and like this is so sad. And I know this is just gonna be my little rant on why the New York Knicks are actually a money laundering business. The New York Knicks bring in the most money out of any team in the NBA, which makes no sense at all because they're garbage. They're absolute garbage. They've been garbage for years now. Makes no sense how they bring in the most money. James Dolan is actually the head of the mob of New York. It makes sense. He simply launders all of his money through his gigantic franchise. His dad, he was the former Don. Now the money was passed on to him, and he will continue this business. This is just like a grocery store, but on a much higher level. Do you hear me? He can't draw too much attention to the team. That's why he only brings in garbage players. Carmelo Anthony was a part of this business till eventually he got too much money and he just dipped. It all makes sense. All of it. We'll put out a whole episode if you guys want more of this.
Wait, why are we talking about the Knicks?
Because it's Fred VanVleet to the Knicks.
Wait, I thought we were talking about Dragic to the Raptors.
What? Why'd you say the Knicks?
I just heard Fred
Knicks. I could have sworn we were okay, leave that in.
Wait. I was talking about.
I could have sworn we were talking about.
No, I said if the Raptors let go of Van Vliet, then that means that.
No, I just heard Van Vliet's name and I just went.
Oh.
My mind's it's wired in, Fred VanVleet's not leaving because of what I just said. Goran Dragic is gonna stay with Miami because that makes more sense. They have the cap space, and if they do want to lure Giannis in, I think he'll be a big part of that. because he's a point guard that doesn't cost too much money to maintain. He's a pass-first guy. He can make threes. Obviously, everybody's going to try to get Giannis. Everybody. And like the two teams, like, and two of those teams are the Heat and the Raptors. But they needed, I don't really understand. They just go back to their respective teams. Bleacher Report just needs to stop reaching for attention because the season's over.
Yeah.
Isn't it so weird that like we're in October, but we're talking about like the off season?
Yeah, it's so weird. Because the off season is usually like in the summer.
Yeah, I don't. This is weird, bro. Anyway,
are they gonna have like a winter league, like the summer league, but like the winter league?
So stupid.
Thank you guys.